the rainbow way up high in the land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
I'm Leslie Foote. I'm a medical director for hospice.
And I'm Gina. I'm a family member of a patient who utilized hospice.
My job is to coordinate the hospice team that is taking care of the patient. That will include the nurse, the social worker, a chaplain, and many times a bereavement coordinator. All of these people get together on a regular basis with me, and we go over what needs the patient has, and then we try to do what we can to help the patient out. From my standpoint, I do a lot of medical control of, say, symptoms, but the nurse will be in there also to deal with wounds, with other symptomatology or basic care. Social workers can come into the home, and again, there may be issues regarding additional care in the home, also coordinating with other services in the environment that they're in. So that the hospice team has this huge array of options that they offer the patient, and we try to tailor it to the patient's needs.
I video recorded the end stages of my mom's life, and in this filming that you're seeing, these are some actual clips that we thought would be helpful for you to understand that process of end of life.
My name is Amy Osterhout. I'm a registered nurse with VNA Hospice. I am a case manager. My role with hospice is to facilitate a plan of care with each patient, which I coordinate with the physician, and to also make sure that the patient is involved in the plan of care. So when I meet someone for the first time and they're to become my patient that I'm going to see regularly, I get to know them first. I want to know their life history. I want to know what their current issues are, what kind of physical decline they're experiencing at this time, what kind of problems with their health they're facing, and how they feel about those problems and where they are in their end-of-life journey. Hospice care enhances the quality of life of each patient because they get to be home. They get to be in whatever setting they call home, and they get to have medical experts coming in to make sure that their symptoms that happen at end of life are well controlled. The plan of care with the doctor is in place, and medications are provided. The type of care that we provide makes a difference because it's very individualized. It's tailored to each patient. It's tailored to each family member. So we're able to come in and say, what is going on with you? What do you desire to have happen? What can we help you understand better so that you're more comfortable with this situation? I believe that supporting the family makes them feel like they have made the right decision, that taking their loved one home or making sure that they're available to be in whatever their home setting is without having to go to the hospital, without having to seek further treatment, without any life-sustaining measures. That's what their loved one would have wanted, and that's what they're taking care of and making sure is done for them. That is what I think our support does for family. That's super important.
So darling, when I read again right from the start, love letters straight from my heart.
My name is Art Schuler. I'm a hospice volunteer, and my role is to be a companion for the hospice patient. There's someone to sit with the person, read to them, listen to their story, listen to their autobiography, play music for them. We're here to be with you and give you an opportunity to express yourself and respond in a way that's appropriate. It's moving when another person decides to contribute their time and themselves in that way. Somebody sent me an email once. This kid was growing up and he would visit with a neighbor next door. And then, finished school and went away and kind of lost track of the person who, grew older and died. And to the boy's parents, there came a package, and it was from him or his family, the man who had died, whom the boy had visited. So the guy, now an adult, opens this box, and it says, "This is an appreciation of what you gave me." And he opened up, and it was his watch, his pocket watch. You gave me this most important thing. You gave me the gift of time, your time. So, however it is we do it, that we give people from our hearts the gift of our time and our being, that has an enormous salutary effect. That has an enormous caring effect. And for none of us to underestimate that. Both the privilege of serving and giving someone the opportunity of being served. Yeah.
I just wanted you to know we love you.
I know, darling.
And you've been a great mom and a great aunt. And you've helped a lot of people, and you've had a great
Did
life.
you bring me a Kleenex?
Got one right here.
Oh, did you bring this for Mommy? My grandmother, rather.
Anyway, Mom, you're all that.
You made me all that. All of you who love me, you made me that way. I just love you so naturally.
My name is Ann McKechnie, and I'm a medical social worker for VNA Hospice. My primary role is to, when a hospice patient comes on to our service, is to do an assessment for the patient and the family's needs. The social worker focuses on the psychosocial emotional aspect of the family. And then we try to provide, we see what they need, and we can connect them with resources in the communities that will help them and support them. When I think about it, my friends who are having babies, they plan their birth. Sometimes they want to have a midwife. Sometimes they want to be at home, be in the hospital. And I think it's the same for a lot of the patients, for a lot of us at the end of life. People have a fantasy of what they want it to be like. They want to be home. They want to have their dog with them. They want to have people surrounding them that they love. Nobody does this alone, and we're there to support them, and there's also supportive resources in the community that can help them. Sometimes I had a lady who wanted to be at home with her 5 cats, have her cats on the bed with her. So people do, I think about what they want to have happen, what it looks like for them. And so as a social worker, I'm able to provide that information and advocate that the patient can have their desires, their wishes come true at the end of life. I can't tell you how many times people have said to me, "Thank you, you listened to me."
If I wasn't like that all day, I wouldn't mind it. Get it?
Like,
No pictures.
you mean like when you fall asleep?
Right, when you're talking, I'm falling asleep.
It's okay.
Like this.
My name is Maria Castillo. As a home health aide, I'm there to support the family and the patient with their personal hygiene. I walked in there to one of my patients, and she was there sitting there crying in the couch, just crying, and I asked her, I walked up to her and I said, "What's wrong? What's going on?" She said, "Well, I don't know, I'm just sad for some reason. I'm not able to do what I used to be doing by myself, and I guess that's why I'm crying." And I said, "Well, it's we all need help sometime. You know, at all ages, we eventually need some help from someone. And right now, at this moment, you need help. And so that's what I'm here for, to help you. And then she said, okay, I'm ready. So we went into the shower, gave her a shower. During the shower, she was just talking to me and, you know, expressing herself on how everything has changed in her life. You know, she says, well, talking about the golden years, that's that's not true. Don't listen to them. And I started laughing. I said, I know, I hear that all the time. And so she said, I feel a lot better. I do. I know you're here, and all of you guys are here to help. And I gave her a big hug, and I said, how do you feel now? How do you feel now? I'm not going to leave you unless you feel good. And then she said, well, I feel much better. She was just sad that she wasn't able to bathe herself and basically do everything she used to do, being independent. You know, now she has to live with her son and grandchildren and have me going in there. It's a lot to take, but that's what we're there for, to help them. And that's one of the most recent touching moments where I experienced, but there's so many, and so many more to come as well.
My name is Sherry Holland, and I am the bereavement coordinator and a spiritual care counselor for the VNA Hospice. As a spiritual care counselor, we go into families' homes and meet with families who want spiritual care. That doesn't mean it's religious. It means that spiritually they might have some questions or some fears or some worries, and we try to help them process that. As a bereavement coordinator, a bereavement counselor, we help our families understand that many weeks or months before someone passes away, the grieving has begun. For the patients, most of the time they just love the spiritual support. They are afraid, and their life is ending, and they might have unfinished business. They just need to know they are loved. They need to know they are valued. They need to know they're important, and that they've done a good job in life. But no matter how ready you think you are that someone's going to die, the doctor will tell you how close, the nurses will tell you how close someone is. When it actually happens, it's a shock. It just hits you like a wrecking ball in the chest. And you thought you knew this was happening. You thought you were ready. And so then the bereavement support comes in, where I contact the families as soon after the death as possible and check and see if they need immediate support and presence. Sometimes they do, sometimes they're surrounded already with family and comforters. Then I follow up with phone calls, I send them letters, we have support groups for grief support. We follow our families for at least 13 months after someone passes away, and they're always welcome in our support groups or to call for extra counseling or support.
I feel it's almost imperative that people reach out to hospice when a loved one is at their end of life. With hospice on board, my mother got supported through not only medication monitoring to keep her out of her pain, but also she had the support of the spiritual counselor, that she could speak clearly about the depth of her life and what really mattered to her, to have some sense of closure. She had a social worker that was able to provide some of the needs that she had, massage, some of her personal interests that she wanted to experience before she completed her life. Hospice was available to the family to help us during the times when we were unsure and unclear about what to do next. We felt the complete support and guidance from them in areas that we weren't sure what to do. My mom was able to feel empowered to continually make choices about what she wanted at all times. She was in control. She was in the driver's seat. And she was able to live with dignity and grace all the way to the very end. She was empowered. And she lived every day fully.
It's a good time to contact hospice when the disease has come to a point that routine treatments no longer are beneficial, and as a matter of fact, they may be painful or they may be difficult. The focus of the treatment for a disease no longer is curative or control of the disease, but symptom management. It's more oriented towards achieving comfort for the patient. And that's because the disease we know is going to end eventually with the death of the patient. And when people come to that point in their lives where it's more important to be comfortable and to live what time they have left in quality and in dignity, then's the time to call hospice.
I feel grateful for hospice. I'm glad that I reached out and felt the support on so many levels. It's the best thing I think we could have done as a family.
The rainbow way up high in the land that I heard of